Welcome back. The concept of the state, the importance of establishing strong, sustainable institutions for the best interest of the people and of a strong state capable of facing changes and challenges in the same time. In fact, Egypt launched in 2016 the first version of the Sustainable Development Strategy, and to achieve or to realize on the ground the goals of sustainable development, this is not going to be a successful process without strong national institutions. And with what's going on around us, this concept gained even more importance. And when Egypt released via its foreign ministry a statement regarding the developments in Syria, the most important, or the first sentence, the first statement, it was about preserving the national institutions of Syria for the best interest of Syria and its great people. To shed more light on the concept and to implement that concept importance on the ground, we are very much delighted to have with us via phone Dr. Nabil Negm, journalist, writer, specialized in international relations. Thank you very much for being with us, Dr. Nabil, and a very good morning.
Thanks for having me, my dear.
Sir, before going into details, let's make it more simple for our viewers regarding this concept, national institutions, and the importance of having strong national institutions to have a strong state.
In fact, building strong and sustainable institutions is the only way to provide a safe and sustainable environment for the population, for the development, and for the state. A state institution refers to the governmental and legal structures established within a country. So this way, we have to emphasize that a strong state equal to strong institutions.
Yes, sir. And to implement that on the ground and on the latest developments which took place in Syria, Egypt, via its foreign ministry, released a statement renewing the Egyptian stance regarding ultimate support to the Syrian state, to the Syrian people, and the need to preserve the national institutions of Syria to make sure that tomorrow is going to be a better day for the Syrian people in this very critical period of their modern history in general. How do you see focusing on that, sir, in our statement which was released after the fall of Bashar al-Assad's regime?
To be honest, it's a very sad situation. Syria has been under this sort of regime for the last 6 decades, almost 64 years, the father and the son ruling Syria. I have to be very honest. It was not a state. It was just a sort of a tribal state. And the fall of ex-President Bashar al-Assad is actually the first step, hopefully, to rebuild and establish the concept of the state in Syria.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the concept of the state and the concept of national state institutions. This is not going to be translated on the ground except by unifying the goals and putting the highest interest of the state as a first priority, far from persons, far
Absolutely.
from... if you want to also elaborate on that, sir.
Absolutely. Syria, as I just mentioned, was not ruled upon the basis of a state or even a modern state. So I think the situation in Syria is so fluid and so dangerous. Arab League and Arab countries should get together to help the Syrian people re-establish their state. I believe very much Syria needs some sort of Marshall project to rebuild the state and rebuild the institutions and get the different Syrian factions together for the sake of saving that great country, Syria.
Yes, but here, sir, awareness is very important. How how media outlets, how the top figures in any state can shoulder this responsibility of raising awareness among the people with the importance of what we have just said, of unifying efforts, of prioritizing the highest interest of the nation, of working hard for a strong national institutions. What's our homework, if we can put it this way?
I believe Cairo and the political leadership in Cairo will not just watch the situation in Syria. There's so many factors which are threatening the stability and peace in Syria. First, the external dangers coming from Israel, coming from other neighboring countries. So either directly or indirectly, the peace and stability in Syria is, to be honest with you, hijacked. So Cairo, Riyadh, and we have a strategic concept and strategic cooperation between Saudi Arabia and Egypt. I think both countries are expected to play quite a role to help the Syrian different factions get together and agree on one agenda, which is to save Syria.
Amen to that, but without the unity of these factions and without the will of the Syrian people to do so, nobody from outside can improve the situation there or get rid of the chaotic situation, because if you permit me, there was very speedy developments. I mean, Iraq and Iran were in a war which lasted 4 years, and it did not end with the fall of any regime of both. But the regime of Bashar al-Assad ended in 4 days or something, or this was the tip of the iceberg. And we did not know much about the rest of the iceberg except recently, if you agree with me on that.
I agree with you in one simple fact, that Syrians should be the beginning of rebuilding their countries. And I agree with you when you said no external power would be able to do anything without the consistency of the Syrian people. So, number one, we need to circulate a very simple message. Either you get together or it is the end of this state. So awareness of the responsibility, awareness of the dangers would help, I suppose, the Syrian different factions to get together. Otherwise, the destiny will be something like, you know, what happened in Afghanistan, Somalia, Yemen, etc. And I think that Cairo is not going to leave Syria alone.
Yeah, true. But also here I cannot miss the role which should be played by the Arab organizations, the Islamic organizations like the Arab League, the OIC, etc. True?
I agree with you totally. And I said before that Arab League should quickly pull their socks up and get together for an emergency meeting to a roadmap, agree on a roadmap to get Syria out of that deep muddy situation. So, Arab League, Egypt, and some international parties who are quite, interested to keep stability and peace in the Middle East. Because, by the way, if Syria gets out of control, that's going to be affecting Iraq, Jordan, and maybe north of the peninsula, Arab Peninsula. So it's not a matter of just Syria, no. It is a matter of Syria and the neighboring countries. It is not a very local issue. It is a regional issue. The Syrian file is a regional file.
Amen to that. And to add to what you have just said, sir, there is another threat after what Benjamin Netanyahu did since the very first minute even after the announcement of Bashar al-Assad's fall. Now there were some breaking news saying that there are huge explosions heard in Damascus itself, and Benjamin Netanyahu went with his men to Golan and said that the war is going to move to Syria, meaning that this is another threat. How this can be met, how this can be faced, not only by the Syrians but by the whole Arabs.
Mentioning that criminal, Benjamin Netanyahu, who has been classified as a war criminal by the International Criminal Court, he is standing this morning in a half an hour from now in front of a criminal court in Israel to see his crimes of fraud and corruption.
Yeah.
Anyway, this guy is trying to escape from his destiny by moving the Israeli army to the buffer zone between Israel and Syria. Whatever he does, I think this man is a dead meat and he's going to be deleted soon. But the issue is not that criminal prime minister. The issue is, are we ready to support a brother state, a brother Arab state called Syria? Are we ready to pull up our socks and get together and face the regional challenges and dangers around the Arab world? I believe very much the European tour, which President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has started last Friday with Kingdom of Denmark and Kingdom of Norway and North Ireland, is part of the Egyptian strategic moves to mobilize international and Egyptian efforts together to keep and save the area from the expected big fire.
In fact, Egypt warned more than once, and in fact in all occasions, that if we let what's going on in Gaza continue in the same manner, this is going to lead the region into more chaos and to engulf the region into a devastating war.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. And I would like to say something.
Sure.
I am just now preparing an article about what's happening in Syria, and I'm thinking to get the title, or the big question is, why now? Why now Bashar is falling? This is a fragile and failed state. Why now? I believe very much what's happening in Syria is a highly orchestrated move to get the world's opinion away from the crimes in Gaza and to get the Arabs busy with another issue.
Another front.
Syria.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I believe very much that all these tricks and cheap games will not succeed. What's right is right, and things, I hope, very soon will change, because the train of destruction is coming very fast toward all of us.
Dr. Nabil Negm, thank you very much for your input, sir. Have a very good day. And we are going to end our episode hoping that 2025 is going to come with peace, prosperity, and welfare for the whole world, for the planet. We can live in peace if we put the highest interest of our countries and of the coming generations as a top priority. By this, we come to the end of our episode. Stay tuned on Nile TV International always for more. Many thanks for watching. This was Nermeen Abdurrahman.